seen from Harris that's giving you confidence to put him out there and let him run with the one some?
Strong, smart. That's probably the blessing in disguise was Marcus and Parks being out. We really know who they are. Man, it gave us an opportunity to really develop all these guys. A bunch of guys. We've had this offensive line has taken a huge step forward, as they should. We only lost one guy in J-Mac, and so they're just older, and they've been through the battles, and we really only have one senior this year in Putnam. So we got a really, really good group, bunch of juniors, bunch of redshirt sophomores, and then you got some really dynamic freshmen, and then a guy like Blake and Sadler, who are, coming. We were able to redshirt Sadler last year. Thankfully, it kind of worked out. It wasn't our intention, but he got banged up, worked out. Those two young guys, but man, he can just bend. He can move. He has great football IQ. He understands defense. Incredibly well coached. He is as tough as they come. He's nasty. He can play, both really 3 positions. Very athletic, and he's got the mentality. So he's a rare guy that physically and mentally it kind of matches up. And Ian Reed and Big Zach, they're exactly what you want too. But they're kind of your normal freshmen. Like your normal freshman, there's usually a deficiency somewhere. Ian, freaking tough, strong, physical, loves ball. But he's still kind of overloaded a little bit, and it's coming a little slower from an installation standpoint. And we got to get his body in a little bit better, spot composition-wise. Same thing with Zach. Tough, competitive, don't back down, exactly what you want. That big guy can move and run, and he's physical, but he can't play at 380, right? He was 405, and so now he's on his way. So we get him down there. Like Peyton Page was right at 400 when he got here. So if he'll keep buying into what we're asking him to do, we're going to look up, and that big dude is going to be something special. So I just love those guys. But Harris, physically and mentally, he's just ready, and so he'll help this football team for sure, no doubt.
Mitchell Mays, you think he'll be back?
Yeah, same thing. He got back in practice today as well, so hopefully he'll be ready to go. He nothing major, but he's had to miss a few practices too. But again, almost a blessing there too. We're pretty confident in Mitchell and the progress that he's made. So it's really forced our hand with some of these guys, and it's been really good.
Is Vizina trying to bleed down Cade's neck a little bit, providing some competition?
No, these guys are just out here, man, competing against themselves and just trying to be the best version of themselves. CV's special. It's easy to see. Guy's gifted. He's only 17 years old. He's a young guy. He's got a bright future. Cade's been amazing. Cade has just been awesome. All spring. And I tell you, Hunter Helms has had his best spring. It's been fun to watch him. He is by far the best version of Hunter Helms that we've seen. He's processing things quick, really good decision maker. I don't know if you guys, if you really look at him, he's really physically kind of transformed his body, and he's really gotten himself in really great shape, which has helped him mobility-wise. But he's very, very confident, and I'm really proud of him and what he's done. We just now getting Paul Tyson back, and he's been in the last couple of practices. He can't go live yet because he had a thumb surgery, but he's back throwing, and I'll tell you what, he's really sharp and processes things well. I can't wait till we can kind of cut him loose. But it's a good room, man. Trent's gotten had a really good spring, gotten a ton of reps. That's been good, and it's a good room. But man, CV is it's slowing down for him, and now that he's here and he can go back through it this summer, and then by the time we get to fall camp, he's going to get it for the 3rd time. That kid's just going to get better and better. So we got a really good situation.
Trent Howard said he felt like the offense started to click a little bit after the break. Did you see that, and how did they do today?
Good. Some good, some bad, just like on the defense. Some good, some bad. They had a 3 and out, and then they had a 17-play drive, and then they came back and had a turnover, in the red zone. So good and bad. But as the head coach, I kind of like that, because if they just win the whole day, I'm walking off the field not real happy with my defense, right? So if I was an offensive coach or a defensive coach, I'd probably have a different answer. But from my perspective and the lens I look at it, I love it when we have a day like this where there's really good and bad on both sides. It's really competitive, And just seeing them all get after it out there is encouraging. But I think they've really done a nice job. I mean, staff's done an awesome job, from Garrett down with just the details of what we're doing, and the guys have bought in and just seeing what I hoped I would see in spring, and that is just kind of just getting our confidence back and getting a little swagger back in what we're doing, and it's been I've seen that, and we're still missing a lot of pieces. We got a lot of receivers and guys that aren't quite out here, but these guys have really bought in and handling it well.
You've heard a lot about Cade having the freedom to tag receivers with a different route. How much have you allowed him to do that? Does he have a freedom to do that a lot, or are you kind of limiting that?
It depends on the call. I mean, but this is definitely a very quarterback-friendly offense for sure. I mean, it's very quarterback-friendly, and he's got a lot of flexibility. He's got to be able to handle that, but he's demonstrated that he can, and it's been fun to see it pull together. I mean, philosophy-wise, we're really not any different. The method really isn't any different than what we've always done, really since 2011. The biggest change is procedurally how we're doing some things, and some few tweaks here and there, whether it be how we signal, how we communicate cadence, some more package opportunities that the quarterback has some flexibility in. So it's been fun, man. And again, the biggest thing is just the buy-in. These guys have really bought into what we're doing, and probably I think we've gotten a lot. I mean, we've got a lot in, but it's a lot of things with complementary plays to it, and the guys are really understanding that. And Garrett's been awesome. He's done an amazing job of really getting us to this point. Where we're coming out of spring, I think really feeling pretty confident about where we're headed. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot more we got to build on, but I think the main goal was to come out of this thing with a lot of momentum into the summer and a lot of confidence. And I've seen that.
I think Christian said that built in kind of a gunslinger mentality to an extent, being able to change things at the line.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just you want to have a chance to be successful. You want to be able to attack where their weaknesses are. You want to have be able to take the matchups where they need to be, but you got to have a quarterback who can handle those things, and I think we got guys that can do that. Starting with Cade, I mean, he's demonstrated really good understanding, but again, procedurally and signals and cadence and a lot of that stuff is different, and it's been fun to see those guys take ownership of that, and it's really it I think again puts a little bit more flexibility on the quarterback, but I think it's much more friendly for him in what we're doing. It's been fun.
Sorry if I missed it, but did Cade and Adam win the egg toss?
Apparently, yes. They didn't complete the pass, but the egg didn't break, so I think they won the day.
That proves he has the softest hands, or what?
Well, I don't know. Proves that because Cade held his own too. That thing got to about 35 yards or so, but it looks like they were a good connection, a good tandem. So hopefully that's a good sign for things to come this fall.
Any reward for winning?
Yeah, they get a accountability point, a plus accountability point. So they battle for those points. That's a good day for those two. I think both of them are already plus, so maybe they'll donate it to somebody who might need it.
It's been a little bit of a weird spring schedule-wise. So you kind of get 10 days before the spring game. You have maybe like a walkthrough next week. Is that it?
Yep.
Have you ever had a big gap like this before?
No, but it's just kind of, the spring for us is all dictated by when is spring break. Our schedule's different because our guys get out the first week of May, right? So you got spring break, and then you got when's the kids' spring break, and when's Easter. So there's a lot of things that kind of dictate when we do it, and then you have a certain amount of time that you have to get the days in. And obviously, we would have liked to have done it this weekend, and we would have if it hadn't been for Easter. But we want to have a great crowd, and we want to have a bunch of recruits here, and that wouldn't have been the case. So that's really kind of just how it kind of got spread out like this. But it's going to be good. It'll be a good opportunity again for them, some of these guys, to really take care of their bodies and really get themselves ready to go. Some good meeting opportunity to just kind of catch up on some things and polish up on some things. And then next Wednesdays is important to practices that we have all spring. We'll be in shorts, but it's a day where We'll do a little bit of practice, like, Clemson type practice, but then we really are separate, and it's the opportunity for our coaches to really teach these guys how things should go in the summer. What skills and drills should look like, how it should be run, so that we're not out there just jacking around, that it's productive, when we're not on the field with them, when it's really being run by the leadership of both sides. And again, I think that's one of those times where your team really grows. They'll start their skills and drills later on in May and a couple days a week, and then it ramps up to like 3 days a week as we get closer to camp. And it's a very important practice, to really understand what we want to do in the summer. And then we'll split the team, and everybody will, get fired up. Coach Easton's going to be a head coach. Coach Spiller's going to be a head coach, and we'll get it all sorted out, and who's orange, who's white, flipping coins and all that, and we'll have some fun, and then we'll come out here and have a great day in the Valley and put on a show for the fans.
So we're talking about freshmen having deficiencies. Usually, Peter Woods, when there are any things about Brady, is there any deficiency or anything? Yeah.
Nope, he ain't got none, other than he's just a freshman. He don't have any. Smart, tough, strong, loves to play, high character. Doesn't really have any deficiencies other than he just needs to go get some game experience. That's why we need to fill this place up and let's get Peter Woods ready to go. Get out here and yell at him and boo him or whatever. That's about it. I know it's a lot on a young kid, but he's earned it. He's demonstrated he can learn the playbook. He's not a complete finished version of himself, but as far as just a deficiency and something that he's lacking, it's really just game experience at this level. He gets it fundamentally, he gets it technically, he understands, he's got the aptitude for it. He's still really taking full ownership, but he's gone with ones, twos, three, he's gone with every group. He's played multiple spots, and he has not been overwhelmed, so I hadn't really seen anything that if we were playing today, he'd be playing, so he's ready.
Has Parker been a bit of a surprise at how much he can
No,
handle?
I don't think so. I think we expected him to really flash. He's not as physically prepared as far as just because he had a wrist injury in high school. He's had some things that have held him back a little bit, just really upper body wise. He's kind of a normal freshman there, but he's naturally explosive. He's naturally strong in his lower body, and he's got a high football IQ. He's picked things up, but he can run. He's just the biggest area for him is just he's got to attack the weight room. He's not where he needs. He's kind of a normal freshman, but just his ability to disrupt, his ability to rush, his aptitude for the game. This guy played 7A football at Central Phoenix City for Coach Nix. He's you come out of that program, you're going to understand some ball. And so, and again, physically, he's a little behind upper body. Just again, he's had that wrist that he's dealt with, since last year, and he hasn't really been able to do what he needs to do. But a naturally gifted player that we really thought he would flash, and the fact that he's been able to come in here and get this whole spring is really going to help him, just have a clear vision of what it looks like, what he needs to do to come back in August, the best version of himself at this point. And if he'll do that, he's going to be a good one.
What are your expectations for Zaire and Cade going into year 3 at that end spot?
Yeah, well, Cade is, does everything right. Cade is what you want. Zaire is just growing up, being accountable to the team. He's got all the talent in the world, but he's got to make up his mind if he wants it. He's one of those guys that has all the talent, but he's so inconsistent with his just preparation, and inconsistent with his effort, inconsistent with his buy-in. And he's a young guy, but he might have had his best day today. So that was actually really good to see. We need him to really take that next step. So, two different guys right there. Cade is all in every aspect, does everything right, competes his butt off. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him. And Zaire, he's just got to grow up. He's got to mature. And if he does that, then he'll turn out to be a good player. But and he's made progress, but he's just not as accountable as we need him to be right now.
Would you like to scrimmage other teams in these spring games, or do you like the current setup?
I'd love it. I've said that a million years. I'd love to play somebody in the fall. You know, we're the only sport at any level of football. I mean, the only level of football that doesn't get a chance to scrimmage somebody. I mean, even the pros. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to bring somebody basketball and bring somebody in and do some one-on-ones against somebody else. You know, so I've said that for years. I mean, because every time you take a snap in a day like this, you're 100% invested. Right? Anybody grabs an ankle, they're yours. You got 22 on the field every single snap. So yeah, I mean, I think, you know, to me, it would be, you know, spring game, there'd be some interest in that, I guess. But to me, I'd rather have it in the fall camp. You know, even if it's just being able to practice against somebody and do some inside drill against somebody else, do some one-on-one, do some 7-on-7. You know, like you see in high school. You know, they go and work against each other. You practice against each other. You see it in the pros. You know, so maybe have a day of camp embedded with somebody. I think that'd be great. You know, because again, you don't have. All we have is each other for 350 days. You know, I mean, if everything's perfect in our world, you get 15 days to like play, right? So it's the 350 that makes the difference. And there's, you know, we only got each other. That's all we got. Which is good because we got a great group to work with and all that. But it'd be nice to have that opportunity somewhere along the calendar.
You mentioned Wade Woodaz as a guy showing some leadership. I think that Barrett and Jeremiah said that even during match drills he was pushing them. How much have you seen his confidence grow into being more? Incredible. He's going to be a special player, man. Dude had a great freshman year. He's a dynamic guy. You know, he's really learning the box this spring, Mike and Will. But he can play a lot of positions. I mean, a lot of positions. His background is quarterback and safety. He really just understands the game. And, you know, he is really coming to his own. His body's in a great shape. He's 220-something pounds. He's strong. He can run. He's got a lot of confidence from the experience he got in the season, and you know he just has a presence to him, and he has a lot of respect from his teammates that he's earned. So I'm really pleased with him, and I'm pleased with Dudley too. I think Dudley's a guy that came in that group that's starting to show a little maturity. I thought he was a little silly and a little immature when he came in here, and man, he's really come on. I mean, he's had a great spring, and the other kid is Kobe McLeod. You know, I probably talked as much about him, but he's really showing some progress. Gotten a lot stronger. The power hour was a great situation for him, and he's flashed this spring several times as well. But Dudley seems like he's really, you know, kind of bought in and really taken it to another level. He's going to be a guy that, same thing, got a really bright future ahead of him. All right. Thanks, Coach.